Guys, it's no secret that my obsession with regular houseplants has gotten out of control, and I love the idea that we can combine these two hobbies to create something what I think is more beautiful. So a lot of you might be into houseplants, a lot of you might be into aquariums, a lot of you might be into both, like I am. So let's figure out how we can prep some plants to be able to put them in the water. A lot of plants that I look for are the ones that I research on what we can put in aquariums. I think there are a good number and a variety of some. Most popular is the pothos, and I've got a bunch of that. I've got a bunch of regular ones hanging. I just bought some of the enjoys. So for that, we are going to be doing one of those. This one, unfortunately, is not. I've got this guy that I just purchased not too long ago. It's doing great. It looks like, it's in some, what they call leca balls. So it's pretty much in an aquatic state right now. We are going to work with this guy, which I'm not 100% sure. I thought it was going to be one of those mini Swiss cheese monsteras. I think it is. I do have a larger one, but I'm almost certain this will work because I did get my large monstera cutting into the plant. Let me show you real quick. So if you guys take a look, all this new white rooting, that's the aquatic root. And then the air roots, it pretty much rotted off. I don't know. There's another water root going, there we go, under it. But yeah, that's what it looks like. It's this big guy. It looks great. Roots are starting to come out. It didn't look like this. It's been in there for a couple months now, and we've got a great start right here. So I can either leave it in there, or I can, just transplant this into a pot. But I'm just gonna leave it in there for now. All right, so then I've got those two, and then I've got the peace lily, which is looking pretty good right now. It's already sprouting new leaves since I've had it. This was like $8 at Lowe's, and it's looking pretty full. So we do have another peace lily upstairs, which is just potted like this, but it's been potted forever. This one, I do want to get it into an aquarium. So let's start on how we're gonna do these things. First, you'll need a tray because it's gonna get messy because you're gonna take off all the dirt. And then I like to do a little tub of water, or you can just use the sink. I just kind of ran it under running water last time. But let's start with the smallest, and then we can work our way up. You guys familiar with the pothos? It's kind of a vining plant. What I learned about pothos is, oh yeah, this guy was ready for a new pot. You can see all those roots. Pothos, the less light it gets, the more leggy it gets. More leggy as in more viney. And the more light it gets, the more fuller and bigger the leaves will get. I saw a video earlier today. I did not know that. I thought they just vined like crazy normally. But apparently it's not the case. I don't know if it's, specific to different strains of pothos, but I really like this, the enjoy. It's because I think they call it the variegation. Just the different color leaves. Really like the contrast of the white and green. All right, so you want to do this delicately as not to damage any of the roots. Definitely some roots you can give a trim. And I think that kind of pushes them to grow more. And these are two separates, so we'll split these ever so gently. And they're somewhat connected. All right, so we got all the dirt off, or most of it. I'm just gonna give them a rinse to get the rest of it off. All right. Go. This guy. All right. So it's looking pretty good. You guys can see there's still a little darkness, still some dirt on there. I'm not too worried about that. We'll set those to the side. And then let's work on this guy. So gently squeezing around the pot. Anything kind of rotted looking, kind of pinch away. But I am beginning to think that this is a mini monstera just because it looks like it's got the air roots which are digging back into the soil. And then from looking at this, you can already see that all those roots are wrapping around, so it's ready for a new pot anyway. And hopefully all these have roots. Already I've got this guy, just fell out. Looks like he's got no root with the little leaf that died off. But he does have, looks like some air roots. So we might see if we can salvage him. We'll just give him a little rinse. Place him to the side. And we're gonna do that carefully with the rest of these guys. What I'm doing is kind of pinching, not pinching, but kind of putting a little pressure, and then, what is this motion called? I don't know what this is called, but doing that to the roots. Slowly pull them apart, give them a little friction, rub together, and then there we go, we've got a few pieces. Make sure all these guys are dunked in there. And a nice rinse. All right. Now when I say air root, this is what I'm talking about. So it's the root that doesn't start from the base, but it starts all the way up top. So if you can see that, that's an air root, and it just worked its way back into the soil. So with monsteras, they'll do that. The larger ones can get out of control. I think in the wild, they're technically there to kind of wrap its way around trees so they can grow upwards, almost like a vining mechanism. All right, so that's good. Got a little stem damage on this one. I don't know how that's going to turn out because I can already see the leaves are kind of turning yellow. I don't know if that's because of that damage or what. But, all right. And last but not least is our peace lily. So this one is going to be a little tricky because it's so big. I think there's a couple different root systems in here. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole thing, but let's check it out. Slowly gonna squeeze along the outside of the pot, and it does have the auto feeder yarn onto it. That was into the soil. I really like that. That's cool. All right, so you can already see there's a lot of root action going around here. So this guy was probably ready for the next size up in a pot, but let's kind of try to break it down. This soil is a little damp because I did water it not too long ago, and these roots are getting pretty tangled, pretty crazy. And once again, I'm doing the little squeezing motion and trying to dig away any of the excess soil. Now you don't have to get rid of all of it because a lot of it will come off in the water, but you just want to do it to where you can at least get most of it, and where you can at least see how many different plants you're working with. So I try gently squeezing while pulling in opposite directions. It's not working so great, so we'll kind of take our thumbs and chip along the top, kind of rapidly, but not so firmly, pushing the soil down. So now I can feel some roots going downwards. All right. dig some out with our fingers. This might be just one piece. You might need a bigger tub of water to get rid of the rest of this soil. Alright, so these roots are really long, and those I might just trim back. So the roots have like kind of trapped a bunch of soil. So if you can get in there and kind of dig it out. I think this is just one main plant. Just work with it, be patient. It's slowly coming undone. I do hear some very thin, small roots kind of snapping. But you do just want to be careful. You can see I've got some pieces that came off. Alright. Looks like it's working so far. And I know with the last one I did that had a lot of dirt, I just ran it under the water, you know, just on high max faucet pressure, and then while working the roots, it seemed to work really well. But for the purpose of this video, I'm on a desk. Look at that. It looks great. Looks like it's coming along just fine. Alright, now my fingernails are going to get very dirty. Alright. Kind of like you're shampooing your hair. Cool. Give it a little love tap. And then that's what we're looking like. Let's dunk it. The reason I'm holding all of the plant is so one stem doesn't have so much weight on it, obviously, to snap off. All right. All right, there you guys have it. Looking nice and clean. Put this tray to the side. And these are what we're working with. Now, it's going to take all the little pieces of what I believe is the monstera and kind of put them together. So something I learned is you don't want to fill up the water you don't want the water level to be too high. Otherwise, a lot of the stem can rot. So I think you just want it to where like the soil was, which is towards the bottom, but you want enough of the roots to be able to access the water. All right, so let's put that there. And then you guys aren't strangers to pothos. We are going to just kind of hang them where they can access the root. Where the water can access the root. And where they can get a little light. All right. So this is what we're looking like. I put a piece of pothos there. You can see that the root's in the water. We got the possibly baby monstera in there. Roots are also in the water, and then that other half. So the way you guys can propagate the pothos, if you guys don't know, is like this one is growing a little baby. I would cut that node right there, almost like you would do with Anubias. So peace lily. Peace lily, this is gonna be for one of these projects, but I wanted to get this guy prepped and ready for water. So what I'm gonna do is probably empty this guy out and hold this in there temporarily. Oh, I forgot. This guy we're gonna try to salvage. I think this way's the bottom. Just put him in there like that for now. All right, let me clean that tub. Empty the tub, rinse it around. You guys have plenty of excellent water for plants. So this is a jug I like to keep on hand when I'm doing water changes. And this is, you can kind of see it's a little yellow, but the reason is it's old water from a tank. So that has a bunch of deliciousness for these plants to grow. All that natural fertilizer from the fish poop, having the ammonia and the nitrates. So right there, that's how we're gonna do it. So you can see it's pretty much just the roots. We're gonna leave it like that until we get our next project going. So that's to the side. So we're gonna clean up our mess because our wife gets angry when it's dirty. So we're literally playing with dirt. So I have to do a better job at that. But we're gonna leave like that. We leave those now like this for, I don't know, for a few days, maybe a week, and we'll see how they develop. Most likely they'll do fine because they can. Only thing I'm worried about is the baby monstera, I think, just because I'm unfamiliar with it. But seeing how my large monstera did fine, I don't see why it shouldn't. What I'm looking for is more bright root coloration, possibly some new root growth, and maybe some new leaves sprouting. Peace lily, this is what it looks like. We've got, some new leaves already coming through. We'll see what that looks like in, in a few days until we get our next project started. But yeah, it's pretty easy. It gets a little messy. Just clashing of the two hobbies. So hopefully you guys learned something today, and always thank you guys for watching.